To see the entire 60-minute video, go to Yahoo Video and search Robert Morey on their homepage. These links will also get you there. www.putfile.com/LieutenantColumbo/media or saintaugustinian.blogspot.com and look for important Dr. Robert A. Morey links.
Truth Seeker Bob loves to be referred to as a doctor or a scholar. And some of this attitude comes through in the following clip.
I am an apologist, and I'm a professional apologist as opposed to a lay apologist. So every Christian is called to do what I'm doing, but to a smaller degree. I devote 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. I live and breathe apologetics.
I guess Truth Seeker Bob thinks he's doing apologetics when he's watching daytime TV talk shows or the movies, but that's besides the point here. What we like to point out, as we've already pointed out on Tales of the Strange and Weird Part 1, that Morey's so-called scholarly research is not so scholarly after all, and is indeed, particularly on Islam, very shoddy. Listen to this following example.
Jesus did miracles according to the Qur'an. Muhammad didn't do any. Later in the hadith they manufactured them, but most of them are somewhat silly, like he took his sword out and cut the moon in half. Now either that's a long sword or a small moon, as I proved.
Here Morey claims that Muhammad used a sword to cut the moon in half. He supposedly proves this in his booklet, An Analysis of the Hadith, which was also reprinted in the back of his Islamic invasion book, and gives 11 references for it. But alas for the careful and scholarly research of Morey, no sword is found in any of the reference material. The sword that Morey talks about here is a pure fabrication by him. Now, I would like to point out that when Morey is doing his so-called scholarly research and his interviews on subjects he's supposed to be so well versed on, he has a tendency to sensationalize and overemphasize or even exaggerate the actual circumstances. Let's take a listen now and see if we can hear something along these lines.
Yes, just to put it quickly, the French Lodge was anti-Catholic, anti-Christian, anti-cleric, and it's the French Lodge that molded the lodge in Italy and in all the Roman Catholic countries, South America, Central America. It's interesting to note that nearly every president of Central America and South American countries are all Masons. In Italy, Masonry is looked at as a political movement, and thus you'll have scandals connected with it. The Illuminati in Bavaria, Germany. So it is a more political beast outside of the United States than it is in the United States.
Now, in South Africa, people were not put to death simply because they were black or brown. But the apartheid, which is in South Africa, is a Sunday school picnic compared to the Holocaust that is going on in these Islamic countries. For example, in Pakistan, it is proposed that Christians will have to carry an ID card that identifies them as a Christian. They will have to wear special clothing. Sounds like the Star of David all over again. And they will be forced to leave their homes, and they will be moved to special areas. Sounds like Auschwitz and Buchenwald. The Bishop of Lahore said, and once they get us all together, they will kill us.
And that's the way it is. It's not a very loving concept from Islam. It's not a loving concept at all.
where Muhammad put the sword into the hands of his followers. He came to build the empire on earth.
As one can tell, Truth Seeker Bob is into conspiracy theories, such as the Illuminati internationally and Islamic Nazi-type mass murder plots. The two previous clips came from Central Florida Forum Radio, 95.3 FM, WTLM, and Truth and Reality Radio. The following is a clip from the separate Hank Kitchen interview tape relating to Morey's bent towards conspiracy.
But you seem to go against the grain of from what I've heard.
Yeah, I'll make it very, very simple. When I was a student at Westminster, you must understand that God gifted me to be a profound reader. I mean, I'm talking 20 books an hour, 25 books an hour, where I literally would go and find such things.
Robert Morey, who has claimed in his ministry mailings that he held a degree from Faith Theological Seminary, Gujranwala, Pakistan, has had this supposed degree revoked by the same institute. The certificate of cancellation is seen here, and the school can be contacted for more information. Morey claims in newsletters that he has mailed out by the thousands nationwide during different years that the Wessel brothers of Texas had embezzled and stolen large sums of money from his ministry, and therefore he needs supporters to send him as much money as they can to make up for this. Morey has consistently made these claims about the Wessel brothers, who he, in more recent years, refers to as the Russell brothers of Texas. These claims have been made by national mailings, word of mouth, facts, in his church, at national conferences, and even on his national radio show over many years. Documentation and witness testimonies indicate Morey has claimed the Wessels have stolen anywhere from $30,000 to as much as $150,000. Instead of turning the Wessels over to law enforcement officials for criminal prosecution, Morey has chosen to seek those who will believe his Russell Brothers of Texas story in order to secure sympathy and financial support. If Morey's claims about the Wessels and or Russell brothers are untrue, then Morey is telling false stories in order to obtain money from the public. If you or someone you know has heard this story, or more importantly, if you have actually given money to Robert Morey as a result of this story, please contact us right away. Please contact Larry Wessels, Post Office Box 144441, Austin, Texas 78714, or call 512-218-8022 and leave a message. And now for a final word from Truth Seeker Robert Morey.
David, welcome to Truth Seekers.
Hello, Dr. Morey. How are you?
I'm doing fine, having more fun than is legal.